Good afternoon, gentlemen. I hope I'm audible. I am sharing with you a PDF of, a PPT of our pavers and compactors. Just wait a minute. I'm just sharing this and we shall get moving. Okay, my apologies for that. Right. So, welcome and a very good evening to all of our panelists and all of you who have joined us for this virtual roundtable on pavers and compactors. My name is Charu. I'm a writer with Construction World. Special thanks for making time to be with us virtually. It's our pleasure to have you on board. This conference is being streamed live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Bites of the discussion will feature in our CW August edition. I'd like to share with you some of our past edition covers. In our March edition, we had path-breaking interviews of Mr. Nitin Gadkari, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, and Mr. TV Somanathan. A large part of our focus of late, as the statistics on the screen will show you, we've kind of shifted to the digital world. Monthly visits have touched 250,000, which is phenomenal. Since the lockdown last year, we have been conducting webinars and roundtables for the industry. And just before we start the panel discussion, I'd like to share with you some details of upcoming events. Very soon, we'll have an interview of the Minister of Railways, Mr. Piyush Goyal. This is part of our Infra Nirbhar series. Do stay tuned for this. It'll be a great event. On the 16th of July, we are organizing the Infra Steel Summit. Do join us for this discussion. It will also be an interesting event. On the 22nd and 23rd of July, we are organizing the Construction Technology Summit 2021. Day 1 will focus on smart design with BIM, while Day 2 will delve into innovation in construction equipment. Thereafter, on the 20th of August, we will be hosting the very popular Construction World Architect and Builder Awards, popularly known as the QAB Awards. This will be our 16th year of awarding India's top architects and builders and noteworthy projects. And the second year, we will be hosting the awards virtually. Now, virtually has not taken away from our number of participants. We get over hundreds of entries, And we have the top builders and architects share their winning speech just as they would at a physical event. So this year the theme is React, to respond to the environment with awareness, creativity, and technology. If you have not nominated your architecture or building firm and projects for these QAB awards, please do so if you have not already done so. Also, as a countdown to QAB, we will be organizing a series of webinars. Some of the topics of discussion will include architecture as a profession, real estate, designing trends post-pandemic, smart cities. We will have Mr. Habib Khan, the President of the Council of Architecture, moderating some of these webinars. Organizations such as the National Highways Builders Federation and the Builders Association of India have also agreed to extend their support to this event. So as you can see, we have quite a lineup coming up. And now if I come to today's topic, pavers and compactors, the Indian market for compactors is seeing growth. We're now touching 3,500 units a year, all because of the steady increase in road and highway projects even throughout the lockdown. Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, these are some of the key projects. We also have seen in the paver segment in the last 4 to 5 years, there has been good growth in demand for medium-sized 7.5 M pavers, following the push on rigid concrete pavements. Now, with the government's impetus to flexible asphalt pavements for national highway projects, demand for large pavers is expected to grow, as these are essential for wider highways that must be paved in a single pass. There is also a greater interest by buyers in sensor pavers that help contractors do more with less. Contractors' demands are being met by futuristic manufacturers who are actively implementing new technology to deliver better quality, better results on the roads. I'd like to start the discussion, but just before that, I'd like our panelists to just pitch in with a quick introduction, a 1-2 sentence introduction of themselves so that we can all enjoy this interaction better. Can we start with Mr. Anil Kumar Rao, whole-time director of PNC Infratech? Mr. Rao, please, just a few lines on yourself.
Yeah, I greet all the co-participants on this occasion. It's a very valid subject today. My name is Anil Kumar Rao.
Yes, Mr. Rao.
I'm a whole-time director in PNC Infratech Limited, and I'm associated with this organization for last 22 years. And I'm basically looking after all the technical aspects and the constructions, the post-construction, and every phase of the construction projects for the company.
Great, wonderful. Mr. Satyan Sachdeva, he's our Secretary General of Construction Equipment Rental Association. Tell us, Mr. Sachdeva, just a few lines on yourself. You need to unmute yourself, Mr. Sachdeva. I can see a mute sign.
So sorry, yeah. Thanks for such a humble invite, Charu.
That's great.
Good afternoon, everyone, all the panelists. This is Satyan Sachdeva from Construction Equipment Rental Association of India. We are a national association.
Yes, Mr. Sachdeva.
Yeah. I hope I am audible, Charu. Yeah. And we are working for the welfare of entire rental fraternity in India, and we have a lot of our regional chapters, and we are growing in numbers. So all the rental companies together, we are at one single platform, Sera. Sera is growing exponentially now, and we have a lot of regional chapters, and then we are doing work for the welfare of the rental fraternity in terms of advancement of technologies, skilling, and above all about the penetration of rental, which is unfortunately low, and now it has picked up very well. So this is what the introduction is all about. We'd like to hear from you all. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Mr. Mohan, Chief Executive Officer of the Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council. If you could just introduce yourself, please. I think Mr. Mohan is having a problem with his mic. He did share this before we started. Okay, not to worry, we'll figure that out. Mr. Joshi, Mr. Pramod B. Joshi, Additional General Manager. He's the Plant and Machinery Head for all India at Ahluwalia Contracts. Mr. Joshi, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Pramod Joshi. I am working in Ahluwalia Contracts as an additional general manager, plant and machinery head. I am having 26 years in the construction machinery, experience in construction, all type of equipments. Earlier, I am with JMC Projects, Atlanta Infrastructure, all different organizations. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. And Mr. Vinod YB, he's a senior technical consultant in hydraulics and construction equipment with Rao's Consulting Services. Mr. Vinod, please just tell us about yourself.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone, and I'm glad to be part of this panel discussion. So just to give the background, I have got around 23 years of experience, basically in the development of construction equipment in various OEMs, both in India and the United States. So presently, I head the consulting company called Rao's Consulting Services. So here at Rao's, we take up the technical and business consulting projects that are related to construction and mining equipment, both off-highway and on-highway domains. So we do the, as I said, both the technical as well as the business consulting. Like, on the technical front, both on the introduction of new products, or improving the features, or improving the market penetration of the existing products, or how to build the a product mix in the construction equipment domain.
Great.
And the product placement.
Wonderful.
So this is about the gist of my consulting.
Wonderful.
Company.
So if I can come to our discussion, that's wonderful. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mr. Vinod. And I'm going to pick up from there and start the discussion from them. You just mentioned that in some of the features of equipment, and you correlate that with the business part of of selling and creating a market for these very equipments, the new equipments that are launched. What's new in terms of features in pavers and compactors? How is buyer demand changing, say, in the last 5 years or so? What's changed? And how has the industry responded to that?
Yeah, so in the recent past, in the last... yeah, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the recent past, in the last 5 to 6 years, if you see with the industrial revolution and with the internet revolution per se, so there has been a lot of additional features in the machine where the internet technology is integrated into the machine, both for operating, maintaining, as well as like the predictive maintenance, as well as servicing of the machines. So there has been a lot of technological upgradation of having miniature components or electro proportional controls. Means in a simpler terms, it is like a very sensitive controls and sensors that have been kind of integrated into the machine, through which we can have a precise control, and the accuracy of the operation is kind of increased drastically. So compared to conventional machines, where there were a lot of manual interventions, now with the advent of internet technology and upgradation on the technology, using the controllers and the sensors, the fine control of the machine operation has become possible, and there has been a kind of drastic improvement as far as the productivity and the efficiency of the machines are concerned.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And what features? Now, a lot has happened, but we obviously have a long way to go. What are some of the features that you still think we could do with, but are still missing in machines, in pavers and compactors?
Yeah, so one feature what I can think of is if you look at a conventional machine, like if you look at way back in maybe 50, 60 years ago, like there used to be, a combination, a single machine which is kind of doing the paving as well as compacting. Whereas over a period of time, it got divided into a paver and a compactor, two different equipments. And so in that domain, what I feel is we are also working with some OEMs, so where we can still again integrate both the paving as well as the asphalting or the compacting feature, so that efficiency can be further improved. See, what happens is if you look at from the technical standpoint, when the asphalt is paved on the surface and then the compaction is done, if they can be done in a combined as a combined operation, it will be kind of more efficient and it will be less time consuming instead of uh, taking paving as well as compacting as a separate operation. So that is one thing which the industry can look forward in the coming years.
I see. Okay. So you think that this is a development that we will see intensify in
Yes,
the coming
yes,
years?
yes.
Okay. If I can speak to somebody who's been in the field, um, yeah, yeah, I'd like to come to Mr. Joshi. You've had a lot of, I know, experience in the field. Now, all these points, the use of sensors and the use of, single pass, how does it practically work out when you're actually constructing roads? I mean, we all talk about improvements in productivity, but how much difference do you practically see when you have a better machine vis-a-vis a conventional machine? Mr. Joshi?
Earlier, at this time of my career starting, we normally use static roller and all that. Now technology has already completely changed. We are using vibratory roller,
Right.
tandem roller, and PTRs.
Sure.
Depends on operation. We have to use the machines. For
Okay.
compaction, normally
Okay.
50% compaction is already came by pavers. And for other 50%, we use compactors, rollers, tandem rollers. And for finishing work, we use
Okay.
PTRs.
Okay.
So depends on operation, we have to use the machine, and normally for highways, this
Okay.
is compulsory. So, and main criteria, I think skilled operator is must, because normally in India there are lot of requirement of operators, good operators. We don't have such a skilled operator in India, because normally uneducated person becomes operator in India. They don't have that much more skill. They directly as a helper and again joining as an operator. We must train the good operators to operate these machines so that we can get a good good product at sites.
Okay. Okay. If you have, assuming that you have a good operator with you, a trained operator, what
Yeah.
productivity increase can you see by using a better machine vis-a-vis an old conventional machine?
If is old conventional is totally different and new technology is totally different. We earlier we are using, suppose we normal rollers we use, there will be only
Yes.
compaction of layer normal 5 to 10 mm. But after this vibratory rollers, PTRs, tandem rollers, technology, amplitude and frequencies, and you have to monitor how many pass actually required for that compaction. This so better machines will be naturally better, and this will be 80-90% better than conventional machines. In normally pavers, there is a temperature sensor for asphalt.
I think what I was trying
We
to ask
direct
is, yeah,
temperature sensor monitor the temperature
yes.
of asphalt normal, because plants are long way, and suppose temperature does
Mm-hmm.
not get correct temperature, then quality of road is not that much better. So maintaining temperature and that monitored by
Mm-hmm.
paver itself a good
Mm-hmm.
technique, so that we will get better product.
Right, I see. Okay, that's interesting. Um, if I come to you, Mr. Rao, because you have your 26 years of
Yeah.
experience in the field, if you look at what kind of pavers and compactors are being specified for the kind of very prestigious highway projects that you're implementing, so very compactors. Is the specification different per project?
Charu, you're not audible.
Was the kind of pavers and compactors that are being specified for highway projects now, has it changed vis-a-vis, say, a decade ago? And are you happy with what is with the kind of specification that the government is coming out with now? Does it differ for different projects depending on the location of the project, or any other kind of feature of the project?
Yeah, Charu, this is a very valid point you have raised.
Mr. Rao?
And to start, yeah, you have raised a valid point, Charu.
Yeah.
And to put the today's discussion into the right perspective, I will term it as a race against the time. Because you see, a decade earlier, the project duration used to be in the tune of 3.5 to 4 years. And now, the project duration is limited to 18 months to 24 months. So definitely the time is shrink. So now the requirement is to have
Okay.
such an arrangement
Okay.
that is technologically
Okay.
improved, proven, and it yields a good result in terms of the maintenance part of it. The government is coming up with various set of standards. They do not generally prescribe the make and models. They do prescribe what is the requirement to be done on site. Say, for example, in Samruddhi Express Nagpur, we are doing a 8-lane rigid pavement where the paved width is 15 meter and on one side. So obviously we need a paver which is capable of paving
I
more than
see.
15 meter of width in one go. So these kind of what we generally do as a concessionaire or as a contractor,
Okay.
whatever is prescribed basically is a minimum requirement. And we have to see that the minimum requirement be further upgrade so that we should save some time out of it. So these standards they keep on improving, and we also put a step ahead of their requirement, and we put a better machine
Okay.
for complementing their requirement. So the modern day pavers are very good. We are especially using SP 1600 in
Okay.
Nagpur Expressway project, which is capable of paving to the width of 60 meters in one single layer, and of 300 to 400 uh, thick pavement layer.
Okay.
So there is obviously
Okay.
the focus is on improved technology,
Right.
and
Okay.
and
Okay.
with
Right.
this kind of
Now,
improvement,
is the government
there is.
specification for all of these equipments to be owned?
Yeah, they do provide these specification requirements, and accordingly, the manufacturers, they have their machines designed, and they do as per the specific requirement of project, and they are generally meeting the requirement. And as secondly, you asked me about this, there's any change of location or any other factors affecting the choice of the equipments.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes. Yes.
You must remember the natural resources are very scarce now. And in order to reduce the use of these resources, we have to optimize the design type point of it. What we do, we are going in for cementitious
Okay.
pavement layers in place of ordinary aggregate layers that reduces the thickness of the layer, and it give a lot of saving in terms of the aggregate productions. And at the same time, the strength criteria is greatly improved. So the subbase and even there is a deficiency in the particular subbase or subgrade, it is being taken care of by making a better design. I hope I have clarified. And
Yes.
as
Right.
regards this
Okay.
compacting
Now,
equipment,
I'm just wondering now these. Mhm.
yeah, please carry on. But definitely, I would like to put some
Yes.
suggestions in improvement of the
Mr.
choice of equipment.
Rao, I was just wondering. Yes. Please.
Yes, sir, please.
What would you suggest to be improved?
Yeah, you see, especially when I'm doing this expressway project in Nagpur, so their curb is to laid along with this pavement, the
Mm-hmm.
curb to protect. So what happens once we lay the pavement layers, and then afterwards only the curb laying is taken up. What I suggest, the paver should be designed in such a way that curb molding should also be provided as an integral part of the
Okay.
pavers.
Okay.
So that can save a lot of problems and give a smooth jointless, thing kind of a thing. And it will be a better surface. There is no seepage, possibility of any seepage also. No cracks will be developed at this particular point.
Okay. Yes.
And you see, but now in operationals, we are usually providing a high quality cranes also. And now the cranes are generally they are two-wheel drive cranes. So if we can make it a if we can improvise it and make it a four-wheel drive crane, it will be more robust. Like there are certain suggestions which we come across. There should be definitely kind of skill development among the operators, because even you are purchasing a very high and costly machine. If the skill of the operator is not meeting the requirement, it is of no use at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of thing has to be taken up by the manufacturers themselves, so that they create a sort of pool of the skilled people and who can be put to use in the
I see.
practical terms.
Okay.
And I think Mr. Pramod has mentioned
I
some,
see. Okay.
technological
Okay.
integration
Now,
in
all
the
these
paver.
equipment which you
Yeah,
using for all these projects.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you repeat? I didn't get it.
Yes.
Will
Continue.
will you come again? Will you come again? I didn't get it.
I think this is some network issue with Charu.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
fine.
think,
Mr.
Yeah.
Pramod,
yeah.
and we'll come back to we'll come back to you, Mr. Rao. To ask Mr. Joshi, all these
Yes.
equipment Are they? I mean, obviously they have to be owned by the implementing company. Is that correct?
Yeah. No, normally it depends on project size. Company sometimes they own, sometimes they hire. It depends on project period, depends on company strategy. Normally, machineries are owned by company, depends on ROI, return on investment.
Yes, Mr. Joshi.
Normally, equipments are owned by company, depends on their strategy.
Equipment.
Yeah, equipments.
All the
Equipment.
equipment, the pavers and compactors that you use. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it depends on project size
Yes.
and what will be the ROI, what will be the period. Normally, 90% they purchase, but nowadays, lot of company are hiring. The last 3 to 4 years, machineries
Okay.
are hired by company. They don't want to purchase machines because unnecessarily they invest
Okay.
on that machine, and so they require a staff and all that technical requirements. So normally nowadays more hiring is
Okay.
taken care by company.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Right. Mr. Sachdev, could you tell us how, stage in India? Um, what is in specifically? I want to know what is the price differential between. We've spoken about machines with very advanced technologies vis-a-vis the older style of machines. Now, what is the price differential between, first of all, these advanced pavers and compactors and the older ones, and the availability also, not just the. Can you enlighten us about that?
Yeah. Thank you, Charu.
Mr.
Yes,
Sachdev?
yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, there is an advancement in
Hello,
technology.
Mr. Sachdeva?
Yeah, am I audible, Charu? Uh, I
Yes,
hope
yes.
I'm audible. I hope I am audible, panelist.
Yeah.
Great,
Sir,
Yeah,
great,
yeah,
great.
yes,
you are
please go
audible.
ahead. Yeah.
So, yes, there is that differential thing
Yes,
also,
you
but
are
then
audible.
I mean, looking at the rental fraternity, we're not getting the right rates, the rental rates, but that's separate. I mean, let's talk about the differential. Yes, fortunately, we are having the right technology in place in India now. We are the fastest emerging economy for sure, and then we are having good volume. So with that pace, a lot of manufacturers, OEMs, they are working very hard in terms of technology, and everybody is now talking about the amplitude and frequencies and smooth passes and the smooth operations of compaction and paving, which is great. Lot of skilling is happening. Mr. Mohan is here. I mean, he's doing a lot of good efforts, and we're all in touch with each other to have the right skilling also. Yes, the differential thing is there for sure, and we are having best of the technology in India also in terms of pavers. And when we talk about pavers, it's not just about asphalt paver; it is about the concrete pavement also, which is
Yeah.
concrete pavers are unfortunately not picking up in India due to as we have more presence of asphalt road as of now. But then I think it will gonna pick up soon. If we talk about asphalt pavers, it is picking up in terms of sizes also. I mean, 9 meters pavers are more in demand for sure. And if I talk about these leading manufacturers, Within is there, Dynapack is there, then Aman is there, and a lot of other companies, Apollo is there. I think the best of the technology, they have the right sensors, the right technology is there. I've seen a lot of changes. I mean, if we talk about yes, I'm in line with Mr. Pramod Joshi. Yes, it was all static roller, and then it was like vibro roller, and now we are here with the best of the vibratory roller. I mean, we have the right, drum width and the right-centric shaft, and there are a lot of technical things which has picked up very well recently, and in last 2-3 years it has picked up very well. We are having, I mean, India is having a good numbers, 9,000 compactors. I mean, and when we talk about compactors, it's not just about compactors. It is about compactors, mini tandem rollers, and then these pneumatic tire rollers. Pneumatic tire rollers are yet to pick up in India, but then yes, the technology is there, and also we're talking about rental penetration. Sir, this 10% hiring is not taken. Please increase it to 30 to 40%. So this is our submission from rental fraternity to have the right penetration of rental. I mean, one has to be an asset-light model, and rental fraternity is there for rental and let me tell you, rental fraternity is now more into skilling, advancement, and we are with the right pace of technology. So this is the time to take the things forward. Thank you, Charu.
Mr. Sachdeva, now given that the government necessitates equipment owners, I mean, all the companies implement, what can the rental
Can I have the question again, Charu? You're not audible. There's some network, some issue is there. So can I have it again?
90% of the equipment, as Mr. Joshi said, is usually owned.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that considering that Mr. Joshi, as he indicated, that 90% of the equipment is usually owned. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Audible. Yes.
Mr. Sachdeva, yeah, and only about 10% is, you have the margin to kind of. Is there some change in rental contracts that is happening to work around this?
Yes, absolutely. Just 4 to 5 years back, the rental penetration was just 4 to 5%. So now it is picked up very well. We did the research recently in terms of considering all the sectors like mining equipments, compaction equipments, paving equipments, concrete equipments, and building equipments. So fortunately, we have the right penetration now. The penetration is close to 20 to 25% now. Mm-hmm. So this is what SERA is doing. SERA is promoting this rental concept all across the globe, not just India. So we are taking this rental penetration forward in the right way, and we are working very closely with the major stakeholders, that is OEMs, and then infrastructure companies, rental companies, and the financiers also. So together, it is making a difference, and we are aiming at 40 to 50% of penetration in next 2 years' time. And also, if you compare it with UK and US or any of the developed country, the penetration is more than 60%. And if we talk about 10% rental penetration, that's not right, and we're not doing the justice also. So maybe we are not calculating it right. But with due submission, I think this is the right time to take the penetration at a right level. And fortunately and luckily, we are having the right penetration now. It is increasing, and the exponential growth is there in rental space. So we welcome all the new entrants also. So I know a lot of companies who were having very small fleet, 4 to 5 equipments, and now they've grown up to 30, 40 equipments in just a time span of 2 to 3 years. So things are picking up, and looking at the diversity in India, things are really picking up, and people are diversifying rental equipment categories also. So earlier, very small unorganized companies, now the things are getting organized. So we have a lot of organized rental.
I don't think Mr. Mohan can. Yes. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah, audible.
So there's a lot happening in the rental space. Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, I can hear. Excellent. I'm so happy to hear you, Mr. Mohan. Mr. Mohan,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Advanced models of pavers and compactors. They're really of no use unless you have operators who are trained. Mr. Rao put the onus on training on OEMs, on manufacturers. What are your thoughts on this, Mr. Mohan? I mean, India has a shortage of operators for these advanced pavers and compactors. How does it work?
Thank you,
Um,
Charu, and good
who
evening.
can we give this responsibility to of training people? Yes, yes.
Yeah, can I take over? Thank you so very much. Thank you, and good evening, panel members.
Yes, please tell
Uh,
us, Mr. Mohan, who's going to
yeah,
train all the
Yeah.
operators for the pavers and compactors?
there is some gap between you speak
Yes,
and,
good evening.
there is some, yeah, good evening. My name is Mohan. I am from the Infrastructure Equipment Skill Council, promoted by Indian Construction Equipment Manufacturers Association, ICMA, with the support of CII. We come under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and directly under National Skill Development Corporation. The best part is that we have currently 43 manufacturers on board with the Sector Skill Council. We have our own separate governing body that includes the external members from the Department of Heavy Industries, and then from the academia, and then from the Builders Association India, and then from NSD. So far, we have trained 50,000 on
Mm-hmm.
different equipment, and that includes the pavers, then the compactors. I know that's the part of it. We understand the problem, and we know what are the technologies that is getting in, because when we do the standards for this equipment, we do take the manufacturers on board. Through the manufacturers, we take the users on board. When we talk to the users, our users are not just one type of user. We take the selection of 3 users. One who wants equipment up to 10 equipment, other one from 10 to 49, and then from 50 to above. 3 different categories of users. We take the validations on the their feedback on the standards, what they require, what the industry wants, and what is that we can do for them, and prepare the standards. So it's a very important thing. I submit these standards to the Government of India, and then there are about 22 people in the Government of India board, where they will look at things, why this standard has been prepared, what is the career progression for the operator, oblique mechanic, and then the whole thing is approved. Then it comes to Government of India document. You can always look at our standards and process in our website, which I can share it with you also. We have, as I said, we are trained 50,000 people, not only fresh people, reskilling and upskilling on all this equipment. That covers from backhoe loader to the dumpers, anything that you take it up. We do understand that this road construction equipment, paver and compactor. There is a one hitch in the system. The operator needs to have a heavy vehicle license, and these days heavy vehicle license is a bit of an issue for a crash, because they are road
Mm-hmm.
equipments. Any equipment that is working on the road, as per the RTO rules, the
Okay.
operator needs to have a
Okay.
heavy equipment license. Unfortunately, we have represented to Government of India. Our certification should be good enough to take this operator on board. There is still an hitch place, and the government is looking at it. We have given representation that people trained by us, certified by us, should be able to operate with the hitch of heavy duty license from the Government of India. That's the other side. Now, the second question which I want to answer is that, sir, we have the
Mm-hmm.
upskilling,
Mm-hmm.
reskilling of your existing operators. We have the new program for the fresh operators. We would request you to kindly contact us. We will be able to train all your people. We have the means, and because majority of our training partners are OEMs. You take all the OEMs, they are with us. Very few private training partners are there, because for a training center to open up, you require a absolutely the cost of training, OPEX and CAPEX. A private training partner cannot sustain. Whereas in OEMs, we can always put these people. We can train the program. We have that program at site also with your equipment. and upskill the existing operators, bring them to a level what is desired of them in terms of deliverables on the equipment as well as on the expectations of the particular contract or a particular contractor. Otherwise, we are looking always for the mobilization of these people. We can train them. If you have any requirement, kindly let us know. We'll be able to help you out. That's what our progress is all about. What I am seeing is that, the current market, road construction equipment by 2030, it is expected
Is
that,
there
it will be
minimum number of people? Is that, sorry, yeah. Is there a minimum number of people on site that
no, you see, for a fresh training, we require about 15 to 20 people. But for a, what we call it as an RPL, recognition of prior learning, it can be about 8 to 10 people. We'll take it up. We will take it up. It can be done at that site. It can be a 5 days program, 4 to 5 days program.
Okay.
We do the program for OEM. Assessment will be done by a third party. We don't do the assessment. They're all, approved by Government of India. All these assessors will come and they do the assessment according to the standards what we have prepared.
That's good to know. Right. Okay. Right. And what are some of the prestigious projects where you have offered this service training?
So, ma'am, currently people who are fully engaged with us, fully engaged with us is Tata Projects, fully engaged with Adani, fully engaged with
some of the prestigious projects. Sorry?
Tata Projects,
okay,
Adani, L&T Construction,
okay,
then Sterlite Industries,
okay,
and majority major contractors. Everybody is with us. Absolutely, most of them. These people are doing. They have taken a process to train their 100%.
And those are specifically for road projects.
Yeah, I'm just trying to come to you, ma'am. They have taken 100% road projects or whatever that they are trying to do. Road projects, Government of India is coming into a, currently I'm working with Ministry of Home Affairs. We are trying to put a program to them so that, we can do the training at the road sites with the contractor's help to cover the road equipment. Here and there, we are doing the program, but it will be a streamlined and, very definite program with the Government of India.
It's okay.
I see.
Hello?
You may continue, Mr. Mohan. I think some issue here.
She has some problem.
Is there something we are doing for these, freshers?
No, I was just slightly, sir. I just would like to, Mr. Rao, Mr. Joshi, and I'm not able to read the third name. Sorry, my sincere, part of it. Sir, we are all talking about technology improvement. We are all talking about higher capacity, pavers. We are talking about higher capacity, part of it. Let me give some data from the year 2019 and to 2021. In the pavers category, below 5.5 meters width, it has gone up from 63% to 69%. Whereas in case of, above 9 meters, it has come down from 9% to 3% in 2021. And, that's what I'm just trying to give you a small figure. What we are talking about, the industry is doing a different plan, because, the purchase is happening at a different place. That's the part of it. I don't know whether technology is getting absorbed or, what exactly the contractors are they looking for a quick plan so that, they can get the equipment straight away and then do the job, because most of these contractors, they do the subcontracting of job. And they may prefer to do the subcontracting because that will help them out to complete the job quicker. But in that case, the technology does not get absorbed. The current technology moves on.
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Mohan.
Okay. I think Mr. Sachdeva had a question, something about training freshers.
No, yes. on regards to the training part, I mean, the entire fraternity is suffering due to these unskilled labor and precisely these helpers. I mean, not at all skilled as of now, and we are bearing losses like anything. And unfortunately, the major loss is when a helper is driving that machine or an equipment that is coming up on a very high, and a lot of idling is there, sir. I mean, the optimization, the utilization of that machinery is not there. Most of the times, it's more about the idling hours, not the productive hours. So I think there is a lot to be done, in terms of skilling and even the technology is there, but there are very few companies who are adapting it. I mean, with the technology, we should be having the right, those skilled persons, to operate that machines. We need to have the right technology. But then when we have that technology, we should be having the right skilling also. So looking forward for the right skilling, there is a lot to be done. And fortunately, I mean, in terms of manufacturers, OEMs, IESC, everybody is working hard on it. I mean, recently, I mean, there are a lot of training centers which has recently got opened. I mean, these are really big ones. I have personally visited a lot of these training centers. I mean, we have the infrastructure, we have the right infrastructure in place, and then we were having the right, but then we are seeking the right manuals and the right technology. I mean, if we can have that, that will be great, and then the sky is the limit. There is still some lapses in that adaptability and adoption of these new technologies. So if that can be done, that will be great. I mean, it will take some more time maybe, but together we can make a difference. Together we can have that, things at place.
Yeah, Mr. Satdeva, I'll add on, what you said is very right. If we consider need and then to promote the skilling, OEM has taken, huge step, they have taken a lot of steps. We have started a training school at Chapra. Now we have started another big training school in, NAC, Hyderabad, National Academy of Construction, where the OEMs have donated the machine. No, so that we can train these people, according to, because it's a contractors association over there for the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and the like backhoe loader, excavator, and then compactor. They're all including the hydraulics components. Complete excavator hydraulic components have been donated to them to train that people. That's a very important point. The OEMs have taken apart from their own training center. We do have about 62 training centers. Does not all they cover all the equipment. But compactor and paver is a very specialized approach that is required. It's very, very critical for that. So we have started that part of it. A problem today, as a sector skill council, we face is the mobilization of the candidate. We do not get the candidates, for training. We
Sir,
have been
please
trying.
share your all.
Do not get.
Sorry to disturb you, sir. Please share all your details. Your details should go every and individual person so that they can come directly to you. Even companies and even operators also. That needs. That is the requirement.
Sir, let me answer your question. Sir. All our 50,000 people who are trained, they're already there in our website, zone wise. You want to contact an operator, you can call his mobile number and take him on board. We give a name and then you say that for what qualification he has been trained, what level he has been trained, and you have the mobile number, you can take him on board. He's already there in the website, sir. As you said very rightly, I would like to get associated. We need to broaden ourselves. I will send you the details. Builders Association of India themselves are the member of our governing body. We do deal with them. We do enough of presentation. We had a webinar with the contractors about a month back, and it will be pleasure to continue our approach to you, sir. We will do it, sir.
Okay, that's great. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Mohan.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing such quickly, one by one. Mr. Rao, I'll come to you first. The future of pavers and compactors in India, how do you see that? Is that the ideal? What are your thoughts on this?
I think the kind of projects we are now having, especially under
Mr. Rao?
Bharatmala. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you're
Already told
audible.
you there is a stress on reducing the construction period and having the quality standards at the same time. It put a very kind of responsibility
Yeah.
on us to have a better equipment with a better
Yes.
features in it, because you see, not only the construction is taking place, there is a requirement of long-term maintenance also. So any contractor or concessionaire who is taking up any project work, he's saddled with this responsibility of maintaining the project state for the period of say 10 to 15 years also. So there is a requirement of building a very good road irrespective of your time period of construction. So there will
Sure.
be a requirement of the design in this future pavers or compactors to take into consideration the specifications which are being put into these works. Like now there is a requirement of 250 thickness layer to be put in one layer. So this is against the earlier approach of putting maximum 100 layer. So the requirement of the compactors will be really tested on such kind of requirement, because having multiple layer will not serve any purpose, because it will eat away your time of construction, which is very less nowadays. It is now 18 months to 24 months, as I told you, as against the earlier 3.5 years time. So the design of this future equipment would definitely take into consideration the requirement of maintenance period of further 15 years, and the compaction
Right.
requirement of layer to the extent of 250 mm. That is then in that case, they have to take into consideration what is the design criteria being adopted,
Yes.
like
Okay.
gradation of the particular mix, and those kind of things
Right.
they have to take into consideration.
Okay. Great. Mr. Joshi, what are your thoughts? Future of pavers and compactors. Which way are we heading? Will India gradually see the
Yeah, naturally we required more and more equipments because everywhere lot of
Mr. Joshi?
road constructions. Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Pramod.
Yeah, actually
Please heard me. Mr. Joshi,
continuously require.
I'm saying that. Mhm. Yes. Yes,
Actually
yes, yes.
requirement
You
of
can hear.
pavers and compactors is day by day
Yes.
will be increased because we have lot of projects in India and our government is also want to go everywhere in villages, all highways and necessities. So machineries, paver and compactor will be requirement of our country more and more.
Mr. Joshi?
I, yeah,
Again, I think there is some.
Yeah, some major problem.
Yeah. So Mr. Joshi has just clarified it, and
Okay.
then
Okay.
yeah, sir.
Mr. Vinod, what are your closing thoughts? Which way do you see the
Yeah, going by the voice of customer campaign that we recently had. So what I get to understand from the users is like performance and productivity. Those two are the key requirements from the machine, where and also the ergonomics. Even though the manual intervention has drastically reduced with the advent of internet, still the ergonomics of, plays an important role as far as the operators are concerned or the users are concerned. And even the performance as well as the productivity of the operation, they remain like key issues for during the compaction and the paving process. And
okay.
And the buzzword in today's scenario is the intelligent compaction. They call it as intelligent compaction. So when I say intelligent, it is like use of the internet technology and reducing the human machine interface, HMI.
Right.
So in that line, the more advancements is likely to come up, and operator is getting to
Okay.
reap the benefit of those
Right.
technological
Okay.
advancements.
Sure. Thank you. Mr. Sachdeva, your closing comments, sir. Rentals will definitely see growth in the paver and compactor segment.
Not just growth, we are aiming at exponential growth. We're very bullish about it, and now we are into the post-COVID era. I hope we are back to normal now. Things will
Mr.
certainly pick up.
Sachdeva?
Yeah. Am I audible, Tarun? And but there is a major shift in pavers and compactors. People are now looking for those bigger pavers. So the time is here for the bigger capacity pavers, and not just about the 8 ton 10 compactors. So now the demand is more for this 12 to 14 ton of compactors, which was not there previously, but
No,
it has picked up very well. So 11 to 12 ton compactors, and in terms of PTR rollers, it is around 23 to 24 ton roller compaction is required. So I think yes, it will grow, but the growth is there for the bigger machines, big capacity machines, and with that, affordability part is also required. So we need to have the right technology, and then fuel efficient machines has to be there. This diesel consumption is killing us and killing this industry. So we need to have more fuel efficient with the right emissions and all. So I think better technology, high tonnage, bigger capacity machines. I mean, it's a time to take it forward. For the bigger machines, not that old low tonnage machines. They are no more required. I think major shift is happening as of now. I mean, this is what we are able to understand from the market, that now everybody is asking for the right payment, the right concrete, and then they're looking for with that paver, do we have the texturing and the right paving, curing also. So it's not just about paving. Compaction is all about the texturing and curing. I mean, we talk about concrete equipment. So there is a technology for sure, and
Right.
advanced technology
Mr.
will make a
Mohan?
difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
And my humble submission, sir, we as a successful council, this is, as I said, promoted by ICMA. We are committed to train your people. That's our responsibility. That's our goodwill,
Right.
and that is what the industry needs.
Mr.
My
Mohan?
humble, yeah, I'm speaking, ma'am. I'm speaking.
Your
My
final
humble
words sound.
submission. Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah, my humble submission to you all, sir. You are all, such a great personalities within the industry. We talk about productivity. We talk about, completion of project well within time. Kindly understand, a good operator will not only bring the machine and the downtime down, and he also increases the efficiency of the, equipment with our general part with about 6% reduction in the fuel consumption. That is what has been recorded. We have done that job. The only thing is that what we find, the industry is not ready to acknowledge the skilled personnel and give them bit of a salary more. They don't expect anything more. The whole technology goes in a different way. If I train him, he runs away. I don't want to train him. That is the approach which is still existing within the industry. If you want good technology, if you want good machines, you need good operators. If you want good operators, you need to pay for them. That is not happening in the industry. They do not, what I say, welcome these good operators. There is a fear that this fellow will run away. There is a fear that, these people does not, would like to continue for long. So my request is that kindly start promoting, sir. We have done about 50,000 people. This year, I have given a program in next 1 year to train another 50,000 people. We are here to support you, sir. And your equipment will be done. Your project overrun will come down. Your profit will go up. Select and then make sure that you have the right kind of operator certified by IESC. This will be of help to you.
Wonderful. These are pretty good numbers, Mr. Mohan.
Yeah, a lot of good things are happening, sir. We trained some people in Abu Dhabi, can you imagine? We have been now acknowledged, and now we have to train about 9,000 people in Abu Dhabi in one company.
So, Mr. Mohan, is it just about operators or is it about the
That's
welders?
excellent.
Operators. We are sending 50 people to Australia for mining.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you, ma. Thanks a lot. Thank you so very much.
That's amazing.
Mr. Mohan.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you so much. I know all of you are very busy. Thanks a lot for taking out time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.